Now, one of the really cool topics that I wanted to talk about today with the twin flame, it is perceived as a negative. Many people understand the separation stage, and we've talked about other stages at different times, but I really wanted to dive into the separation stage. The separation stage has a lot of stigma to it, almost like it's a scary movie. Now, the scary movie side of this is that, wait, I just experienced this dynamic shift of energy. I just exchanged this energy with another being that I feel is my person. This is my it. This is my aha moment. This is the most energy I've ever felt. It's raised from my feet to my toes, all the way up to my nose, and I feel empowered, and it has gone away. Hi, I am Ryan Keys, and I'd like to welcome you back to the Divine Love Academy. If you're watching this video, we are working together one-on-one, mano-a-mano, on the twin flame situation. Now, I encourage you to be involved weekly and to get involved in our groups and our boards and all the things in other social media that we have, because the key here is for you not to alienate yourself. It's not for you to feel alone. It's for you to reach out with like-minded people and understand that this is a movement that is going across the world. It started out quite slow. A lot of people didn't understand what this dynamic was. They didn't understand that the creators got a conscious call that's calling out and waking people up and bringing them into contractual places on soul contracts where they're beginning to facilitate, mediate, and make messages and do all this wonderful motivation throughout the world. So many of you that are watching me, that are going through these courses on the Divine Love Academy, are actually not just in training to experience what are the ins and outs of this love that I'm feeling or this love that I'm looking for. You are also in the training ground to learn, to go forward, and to begin to change those people in your life and in your hometown and in your community. Because as I will always say, I am here to help you help other people, because when the water rises, so does the boat. So we're trying to encourage you, give you answers, help you find the secret, help you find a way through this rough time, or to investigate these topics deeper so that you can take the information yourself, apply it to your life, and then live a life of example. People will recognize that example and they will be drawn to you. Now, one of the really cool topics that I wanted to talk about today with the twin flame, it is perceived as a negative. Many people understand the separation stage, and we've talked about other stages at different times, but I really wanted to dive into the separation stage. The separation stage has a lot of stigma to it, almost like it's a scary movie. Now, the scary movie side of this is that, wait, I just experienced this dynamic shift of energy. I just exchanged this energy with another being that I feel is my person. This is my it. This is my aha moment. This is the most energy I've ever felt. It's raised from my feet to my toes, all the way up to my nose, and I feel empowered, and it has gone away. Either I've gone away because I can't handle it, or they went away because they seem to be running from me. Now, the formality of running and chasing, which is involved with this separation, has nothing to do with you. It has to do with what's inside. It has to do with the story that you're living. As Miguel Ruiz has said in the Four Agreements, this has to do with your authentic self. This has to do with what you're telling yourself. We need to go forward, and we need to begin to live a life of authenticity. Authenticity, or living authentic, doesn't mean that I'm living the life that you see. It doesn't mean that I'm worried about you hearing me say the truth. It means that I am understanding the truth has to sit inside of my belly and radiate all through my being, so that my brain and my own mind, that is the mediator here, begins to deliver that information to my daily life. The interaction of my body hitting the pavement, that on a daily life cycle, I'm able to dive in and understand the way that the world is working around me, so that I don't become the story that I've been repeating. A lot of times what I've realized, that many people in the separation stage, the runners or the chasers, they are actually reliving past patterns, either via codependency or vulnerability, or they are experiencing fear due to loss, and the loss is due to the love that they felt. They've never felt it before, so they become hungry for that love. Now the reason is because they haven't learned to radiate that love within themselves. You haven't learned to tune in. You have to do the mirror work. You've been provided that, and that is a tool for you to use. It's important. You have to do the meditations. You have to be at the group sessions. You have to be involved. This is a daily task. When you want to wake up, you wake up every day. You get a job, you have to wake up, you have to get ready, you have to prepare yourself for the day. Then when you show up, you have to be present. That is the way life works. When you jump out of that bed, you need to be present 100%. You need to understand that every part of you that is making a decision today doesn't just do it through the body. You have to do it through the mind. You have to reconnect. That's where your mirror work will come into play for this separation stage. The separation is the beautiful experience that you'll get to understand who you are inside of yourself, outside of this whole bubble of love. Because you can't hold water in a bucket with holes. So if you try to fill up that bucket in the life-giving love river and you got holes all in it, it's going to drain out before you get to where you're going. So what we're trying to do is patch that bucket, is fix that bucket so that you can hold that water, you can hold that life. And we're not promising that the separation is going to end in the sense that you're seeing it. All I'm saying is begin to see yourself, begin to see who you truly are, begin to embrace your authenticity. Then what you're seeing might shift. Perhaps the person that walked in and began separate and ran wasn't Mr. Right, wasn't Mrs. Right. Perhaps that actually was a karmic initiation on this vibrational journey where you're going to venture out, and then all of a sudden, a year from now, 2 years from now, while you're living your authentic truth, you are not living a level of expectation which keeps you in frustration. You're not living a life of assumption, believing that people are going to do to you what they've already done. But you're doing your best every day, waking up, doing the effort, doing the work. That separation has now become preparation for something greater. I've seen it happen. Don't get sold on one story. Don't allow a label to lie to you. Don't allow the label of separation or even the label of twin flame to lasso you in and hold you tied and bound. You see, Source is about growth. Source is about, I say a quote that I love, the universe has no reverse. Source is not about stagnation. Source is not about punishing you. It's about pushing you forward. Source is a perpetual movement of learning, projecting, and perception. You're going forward. You're experiencing. You came into the body to experience the body, to experience the sensations, to experience everything that it is that a body does and that a body can go through. Happiness, sadness, fear, loneliness, excitement, making love, getting a spanking, whatever it is. You came here to experience it all. So part of this separation stage is a preparation stage. So once you begin to see the positivity and you begin to see that as an open door instead of an obstacle, you've then empowered yourself. You've put yourself back into a place of power. When you're able to remove the victimization stage by understanding that this separation you've contracted because you needed a time period to prepare for whatever it is that you're going to do with your life, whatever it is you're going to do with this message that you've been given, whatever it is that the Source Creator has called you to do by establishing this catalyst, this person to come into your life. It's important. You are an important place. You're an important part of what's going on. You need to be able to relax into that. You need to be able to see that. Don't look so far ahead. Don't look behind. Focus now. Don't punish your twin flame for running or your soulmate for running, because understand they're not running from you, they're running from themselves. And if you chase them, are you chasing them because of the right reasons, or are you reaching out to them because of codependency? You see, it's very important. And now that's where the reflection inspection gives us a little level of inventory to do on ourselves. It gives you the ability to reestablish and to reignite this spiritual trinity, mind, body, and soul, so that you can connect and you can redirect. You can get involved. You can begin to see things in a different light. And this is where weekly work with me is going to help you as well. I am your cheerleader. I am your coach. I am your inspiration. Let me help you to help yourself. So don't view the separation stage as something detrimental to this relationship. Understand it's just another layer in letting go and learning about yourself along the way. I know it seems rough right now. I know it seems tough, and I feel very, very, very strongly that I wish you didn't have to go through it. But I myself even have understood this. This level of love is about learning. This call that you've created This answer, as you've heard in the myths when I've talked about it, you've called out for something that takes work. You have began asking, who am I? Why am I here? Is there anything more? You're no longer falling prey to what society wants to say. You are becoming a thinker, a free thinker. We need you to rely on this information to begin to see it differently. Whenever you feel that there is a space, whenever you feel the longing, serve. I call it, if you feel suffering, swerve into serve, because the suffering will swallow you whole. Don't get caught in a rut. That's why I have you check in every week. This is why we're working together, and this is why we're unfolding everything space by space, and I'm teaching you about love, I'm teaching you about lessons in life, co-creating, all these wonderful things, because these are all tools in the consciousness. These are all tools in waking up, and truly the twin flame is the ultimate wake-up call. Peace, light, and love. I will talk to you soon.